Hey guys, we've just finally been, I guess, given the full update content preview, and these are the official patch notes for what's coming in like the next, I guess, little bit or foreseeable future when it comes to EpicSeven. I've already kind of taken a look at it. It's really exciting. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, there's like the video if you're curious. But the thing that I think a lot of people have been curious about, and we're finally being announced, is that now we know that for the Oath season, Lionheart Sermia is going to be the character that gets a skin, which is pretty fitting because honestly, she's been doing really well. She's one of the most popular characters in the game. She's also really waifu, very cute, very cool animation. She deserves it. The schedule for the next season starts on the 3rd of February. And alongside the skin, we also have like the new, I guess, like the new border, and it looks decent enough. Arguably, it looks a little bit similar to the one blue, like feathery, like wingy kind of frame that we had a couple seasons ago. It looked kind of cool though. Honestly, it kind of looks kind of like a snowflake. But that being said, I think you could very easily make the argument that it kind of looks like one of the frames that we had from a few seasons ago. That's totally fine though. Cool. We'll just have to wait and see what the Lionheart Sermia skin looks like. There's also the Ancient Inheritance revamp that we've kind of, I guess I've already kind of touched on, but we're getting like a few more details now. As you can see, it looks a little bit similar. I think we've still got the what's it called? The provisions, which is something that I was curious about in the past. I didn't know if it changed or not, but right there, that should be the provisions icon, so nothing should have changed. But essentially, I'm not gonna go too in depth because again, it's gonna be a lot of testing, or we're gonna have to do a lot of testing. But new stuff. Now it looks like you're going to be a bit more involved with the combat of Ancient Inheritance. It's not just gonna be a bunch of like math crunching to see like counting how many tiles you have until you can get to the boss. But again, just as a brief overview, they removed all the class stuff. Now there's elements, which is cool. And again, there's certain conditions that you need to do in order to even summon the boss now. So it is, again, a little bit different. You can't just rush straight to the boss. You've got to beat up mobs first, spawn it, and then like work with your, with your allies or with your guildmates in order to summon the boss. There are some more rewards now. So in addition to changing how you get rewards, because now there's like keys that drop in order to open up treasure chests. They did announce the new set of gear that they have, mainly the speed set and the HP set. We were kind of given a preview of what it was prior, but now it looks pretty cool. Or if you take a look at the gear that they've, I guess, shown us here, all of them look pretty decent. Helmet looks like it's pretty good for someone like Solitary or Angel of Light. Same thing with like, honestly, all these pieces. They look like they were made pretty much for Lethe or for these hybrid ER and effectiveness characters. I'm pretty excited, to be honest, just for specifically the neck and the ring, because those pieces always end up, being really good for, again, the hybrid characters. And given that they already get upgraded to plus, or they get, you don't have to reforge them and they're already maxed once you get them to plus 15. This is really nice, especially for players that are trying to get more gear. That being said, the boot is also, always excited, or it's always exciting just because it's a free 88 boot that, upgrades to 45. A lot of new players could really, make out or, do well from having this gear. So keep an eye out, guys. If you haven't already joined a guild, try to get a part of, or try to become a part of one, so that you can get a part, or so that you can clear Ancient Inheritance and get the rewards. But moving aside from Ancient Inheritance, we have, I guess, like the newest side story that we've been announced, which is like a little bit of a cool minigame side story thing. It's this Miracle Maid Kingdom. Laia, the new maid waifu that we have, is being teased and announced, and we haven't seen anything much about her. Spoiler alert. But between that and, I guess, Tamarin, I think this is supposed to be a Tamarin skin. This looks pretty cool. Again, you have a lot of different mini games, it looks like, or stages that you can do, and you're given, I guess, not only story, but you're also given rewards. We've got this 88 free sword, which, thank goodness, for whatever reason, they decided to go back to 88. I don't know, again, why we had that 178 crit damage neck instead of it being 88, but it is what it is. We have a really nice sword. Again, effectiveness, effect resistance, this is pretty decent, especially if you're trying to build, one of the main characters, Tamarin, or if you're just trying to build, again, like I mentioned, any hybrid ER effectiveness characters like Angel of Light. This is your kind of go-to set of gear that you would put on her. And of course, there's always the side story shop. Nothing pretty much has changed. The other big thing that they've announced is the expedition improvement, and to be completely honest with you guys, I've been kind of trying to go through and do the math in my head, but the math is just not mathing. So long story short, they've essentially increased the amount of energy required to do an expedition, but they've also increased the amount of points, or I guess like the consumed points that you get. I think at the very minimum it's a buff, just because, again, functionally you're able to review or take a look at all results and claim everything all at the same time. But aside from that, and although they did add stuff like, oh, now you can set aside, or now you can start all expeditions all at once, I do think that technically speaking it's a functionally, you technically get less materials, I think is what some people were saying about it. I'm not entirely sure, so I'm not going to make any any judgments or any hard calls. There's a lot that got changed all at the same time to, I guess, compensate for the fact that it is a little bit more straightforward, and it is easier to kind of, set up expeditions. Long story short though, I think it's really nice that they added all the quality of life, where you can now set everything to go all at once. That's all great. Great to have these expedition changes. Honestly though, they were kind of something that should have been implemented at the beginning. Long story short though, glad to have it now. Not going to complain. Moving along though, we have a new Nightmare Raid change, which is huge, which is if you've ever done Hell Raid of the past. Essentially what it is that formerly we had the ability to teleport to bosses after we beat them, which is really nice because, if you have a specific team composition that can't clear all the mobs leading up to the boss, or if you're just lazy and you don't have to clear all the mobs leading up to the boss, now you have the ability to just teleport to the boss, clear the boss very easily. You don't have to worry about anything. This is something that should have been implemented day one of Nightmare Raid, because we had already had it in Hell Raid, but now we have it in Nightmare Raid. Thank you, Smilegate. But again, I don't know how much praise should be given, because again, this is already something we had in the past. That being said though, again, I'm not going to be too negative about this. Very happy to have it. Not going to complain. There's, I guess, some UI displays that were changed in Rift, but not sure what that is. And finally, after, if you haven't seen this video, or if you hadn't seen me stream recently yet, I was crafting 300,000 materials for a separate video that I was doing. And finally, for Steel Workshop, and something that I'm very happy about, they finally changed the 85 gear to be at the top now, which just makes sense. I don't know why I have to scroll down if anyone else has materials to see if they have the other materials first. That's really nice. And in addition to that, there's also, I guess, this mileage bar or check thing at the top right when you're crafting by 10, which is okay. I don't really know how many people cared for that in particular. You were gonna see the epic crafts anyways, but I think something that, if I could please beg Smilegate to add, is that if we already have the arrange button, shouldn't we be able to sort by an arrange, in this case, right? If I just wanted to get rid of all rare pieces of gear, or any crit set or hit set pieces of gear, shouldn't that be available in arrange? I don't know. It just seemed like if they were going to edit this menu anyways, or if they were going to add something to the top right of this menu, that could have been something that they worked on. Again, it is what it is. I'm happy to have it though. Not so much the mileage thing, but just the fact that they changed the positioning. And then furthermore, they changed a few things with pets. Now, again, it's I think it was already mentioned, if you've ever claimed certain pets before in the past, now you have the ability to use those appearances. There's also some changes where it's you can change, or new pets, or former pets that had their names modified or whatever, you can now change that to new pets, something along those lines. The patch notes are here if you're curious about exactly what it is. But again, I'm just giving a brief overview of what the changes are. For the shop, they changed the UI for what seems to be no seeming reason again. I guess to be a little bit more flashy. If you're a whale, it doesn't really matter because you're buying all the packs. If you're new, it doesn't really matter because you're ignoring the packs. Moving along though, we have also, I think, one of the nicest changes, which is that with the free summon, if you've ever, if you've ever logged in and done it, usually what happens is like you try to stock up pulls, or sometimes if you do like your first free pull, you're left with like 9 and then you have to individually summon 9. Well, now they have a way for you to just summon the rest of your remaining free summons, which is so nice. Thank you, Smilegate. This is a very, very good change. I'm very, very honestly happy. I feel like the word is more like relieved that they've made a lot of these changes, because it feels like some of these changes should have happened already. But again, like, no negativity. New 2024 Connor. Thank you, Smilegate. Appreciate this change. And then finally, we've been given a new artifact for the new year, which is, I mean, honestly, I know a lot of people used to use this a lot more in the past, but with how frequent or how prevalent farming unrecorded history is, and how like much stigma and stuff you get, I don't know how many people are like still super, super hyper fixated on friendship artifacts or artifacts like this, but it is still nice, of course, to put them on. But again, I don't even know why I said that. Honestly, it's just a nice artifact. If you haven't picked this up already, you might as well just, I mean, use this or slap this on any characters that you're farming unrecorded history with, whether that's your Commander Pavel or your Free Spirit area, whoever it is. It's a nice gesture, I guess, to have like another friendship artifact, because it gives you more stigma and you gain more from it. Great. And then finally, we have the drop rate up. Given that Tamarin is now coming to the drop rate up, I think we can make the assumption, or make the claim, that it isn't a limited Tamarin or anything like that. It's probably going to be a skin for Tamarin for Valentine's Day, which is cool. It looks decent. It is a little bit weird, I think, to have 2 Tamarin skins, but whatever. I think Tamarin's kind of like a sleeper waifu. Furthermore, we have Chloe. Chloe's drop rate up. I think this one's kind of random. I'm not really sure what this is for, but her artifact is pretty decent if you're, if you want to have damage dealers, or if you want to deal damage with warriors. Idol Shear is also pretty good if you've ever, played any of the Soul Weavers. Sometimes it's a cheese artifact, or sometimes it's nice for Rift, but Tamarin banner, very good. And of course, Tamarin's coming to the, I guess the skin shop, having her skin and all. But Chloe is not really a character that I think you would pull for. Furthermore, we have the coin shop renewal. So just very quickly, I think, not really worth doing any of the covenants. And then for the Moonlight one, I think Designer Lilibet and Solitaria are decent. But I don't think I would get Archdemon Shadow. Kind of a pass for me. And then furthermore, there's like new packs and stuff, and okay, guys, you know what I mean? I think the custom skill pack is probably the most intense, or probably the most worthwhile one, because like if you've been searching for the S one, wow, like it's finally time to get it. But I understand this feels a little messed up, because people have probably been waiting for years to get it, but now at least you have a way to do it if you choose to. And then there's like a monthly Catalyst selection pack, which is, this better be like $10 or something, because this looks ridiculous in price. And then Start Dash is reset. World Arena button now sends you to match history. Yada, yada, yada. Some more, some more UI stuff. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the patch. I think the patch is really jam-packed with a lot of nice quality of life changes. We've got a pretty cool couple next set of weeks coming up. If you aren't already playing EpicSeven, or if you haven't gotten to a guild and stuff, make sure to do so, because there's a lot of rewards coming. That's going to be it for this video, though, guys. Again, there are some changes that should have already been in the game, but I'm just happy that they're in here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, or you learned something. If you did, make sure to like, comment, turn on the notification bell, subscribe. Let me know what you think about all the changes that are coming in the comment section below. I'll let you know when I make videos for all this stuff, and all the new changes in probably on my streams or something like that, or in Discord. Make sure to check out the rest of my socials, guys. I stream on Twitch and YouTube, as always. I'll see you guys on the next one. I will see you guys all on the next one. Adios.